Well, I was actually born in Nairobi in Africa, in Kenya, and I'd always been thinking about going back there one day. I went to a photographic exhibition in Melbourne, and when I was there I saw this photo of a young boy in a bright blue shirt looking straight into the camera's lens with this sort of steely gaze. And read below in the frame there was a little caption that said, "My only hope is an education." Well, that certainly changed my day, and I bought the photo and brought it home and put it in my office and wondered whether or not this boy was still alive, what was he doing, where was he living and so forth. 2 years later, to the day almost, I got a phone call from the photographer who said, "I thought you might be interested that we've actually found the boy." And he's living outside Nairobi with his grandfather and half-brother Peter. His name was Paul, and so from that moment on we began this journey. I then contacted the organisation that had taken care of him called African Kids in Need, or A.K.I.N. And they suggested to me that it'd be a good idea if I sponsored him. I asked them what they did, and they said basically we give kids an education. So we went from there. I agreed to sponsor Paul in school, paying for his school fees and his boarding and his clothes and things that go with that. And they said to me, "Well, look, actually we've got a better offer for you. His half-brother Peter has also come back to the school. Would you mind sponsoring him as well?" So I guess I got a 2-for-1 deal, and I've been sponsoring their education for the last nearly 6 years. The three areas that people can get involved in are these. Number one, you can sponsor a child. And when you sponsor a child, you're sponsoring their education costs. In Nairobi, most of the schools are actually boarding schools, so with that education costs comes boarding, it comes food, it comes some clothing in terms of school clothing. The second way you can get involved is to donate. It doesn't necessarily be for a specific sponsored child, but we have specific needs. We have needs for school books. We need all those basic essentials that allow people young people to go to school. And the third part is actually helping sponsor a program, which is our outreach program for those graduates of secondary schools that help them go to university, help them start up businesses, help them find jobs. You know, I think sometimes when you think about education, you think that they're going to become doctors and lawyers and things like that. And the reality is that they get basic education skills, but they have inbuilt parts of them which is part of the education process to bring out. And I think Paul in particular has a drive. He's an entrepreneur. He's got 2 or 3 different businesses. We're looking to work out ways in which we can help him with those as the next stage of his life. Peter, he's got a few health issues which we're helping him with as well. So my 2 African sons are like my 3 Australian children. They are real. They all give you great joy, but they can also worry you at times. But that just lends us more towards the reality of the involvement and how much we've enjoyed it. It's a display of something which is beyond just you. It's going to be a legacy that you can leave on someone's life for the rest of their lives, potentially for their children and their children after that. I think what I learned about myself in the whole process was to push yourself outside your comfort zone. Do more than just throw some cash at this. Getting involved actually created another dimension to the sort of the tapestry of my life. And now it still makes me feel somewhat apprehensive because we're actually continuing to stay involved. It could have been very easy to go there, do that. That was great, let's move on, tick the box. But we've decided not to do that. And I think from a personal perspective, we're happy for them to be considered an extended part of our family. And the thing that I've learned out of all of that, if I was going to talk to someone who is watching this video, I'd say, this is your opportunity to be a good person. So please be a good person.